Hey guys, I am Jay and this is Football Talk. And in this one, oh my goodness. Woo, I've been waiting for this one right here. I played Madden 25 hands-on gameplay impressions. Man, oh man, I just the other day, was it last week? I think it was last week. We reacted to they didn't EA didn't drop an official video, but they did drop like little bulletin points on their website, and I reacted to that, and now we get to see his impressions, and let's see how he feels about the gameplay of it, because gameplay is the most important thing. So without further ado, let's jump right into it.
I'm gonna play Madden 25 early down at EA. So in this video, I'm gonna give you my hands-on impressions about the gameplay and some of the little details, kind of let you know what the game's feeling like. Now we're going face cam today because we still don't have any actual Madden 25 footage. So any footage that you do see up on the screen is gonna be Madden 24 gameplay, just for some visuals in the background. I might throw up some Madden 25 screenshots or
I know I'm pausing early. I saw a couple of other people react to the same video I reacted to, and the amount of, well, a couple of them kept on saying, is this the Madden 25 gameplay? He said it in the beginning of the video the last time. This is Madden 24 because we do not have the official clips. He said it once again. Just please listen, guys. It's not that hard.
some of the social media little images that they put out there, but we don't have any full gameplay or
I'm not gonna lie to you, the screenshots that they did show did look fire.
Supposedly dropping tomorrow. It was supposed to come out last week with the info.
Tomorrow.
They've been having a few delays both with college and with some Madden info, so hopefully that does still drop tomorrow. And if it does, of course, I'll have it here on the channel right.
Oh, you already know your boy reacting to that.
Of that Madden 25 info, the gameplay, all the deep dives for franchise, or the college football info, we still got more deep dives on those coming, I think, starting back up this week. Make sure to subscribe, turn the bell icon on so you don't miss any of these videos when they drop. I'd like to hit 600k subs before the release of this game, so if everybody watching just subscribed, we would hit that number in a few days. So let's talk about the gameplay. Now, I didn't get to play any of the modes or anything like that. This is just strictly on-field gameplay. I played a few different people, played for about 3 hours. I played different skill levels of people, so kind of got an overall view of how things felt from everybody, not just myself.
Hands-on programs for hands-on people. ECPI University.
I've always
And judging by some of the beta feedback that is out there, I've seen them on the forums, I think a lot of people feel similarly to the game that I felt after playing it at EA in terms of what I liked and what I didn't like. Also, in terms of the beta, I know a lot of people keep asking me for codes. I don't have codes right now. I don't know if I'm going to have them. It seems like they're approaching the beta differently this year, not doing giveaways. I haven't seen any giveaways. I think they're kind of pushing them.
Yeah, I haven't seen any
the beta to the side.
Giveaways either.
Mostly for feedback now, which is, I think, a good thing.
I mean, I feel like that's a better way to do it, in my opinion.
And I haven't heard anything one way or the other. So the first thing we have to talk about in terms of the gameplay for this year's game is going to be boom tech. That's the lingo for this year.
Yeah, I remember him talked about that. They did show a couple like clips
movement a little bit. It's not a
of the boom
movement system, but it is noticeably different. The physics of the game are noticeably better, and they've also revamped the hit stick quite a bit, in my opinion. As some of it I don't like, some of it that's good too, I guess. So here's the little boom tech clip that they released on their social media. It has a small little piece of gameplay in there, but it says a new physics system calculates player ratings and skill-based timing to deliver one-on-one ball carrier impacts for more authentic physical outcomes. And then this next clip here where they're showing ball carrier, it says combine hezzy steps, jukes, and spins with new branching animations, absorb hits, break tackles, and recover your balance based on the quality of the hits and the ratings of the players involved. Now that is going to be the thing you're going to feel the most different with when you play this game. And here's the thing, like year to year Madden gameplay is still Madden gameplay. It's not going to be
it's not
visually all the time.
And that's what a lot of people want, but to be honest with you, Madden is successful because of
tackling. It's better. There obviously are still,
you know what to expect.
Can look bad. I definitely think I saw quite a number of those, but there's also times where the tackling looks the best that it's ever looked in Madden. It's definitely
okay.
Is worse, and there's also more physics being accounted for, more so than probably any previous Madden game. And this is kind of the thing with Madden where they talk about animations versus physics, and And the real thing is you need both. You need to animate the game. The more animations you have,
Thank you.
the game is.
I'm so glad he's
Each other
saying
is kind
this.
of where Madden sometimes has missed the mark, where the physics just wasn't all the way there. And I still think this is an
That
area
Christian
that they
McCaffrey, man.
as they continue.
Damn, these
just getting
graphics
better
are so
on the engine
good.
that they're on and things like that. But the physics in this game are probably the best physics a Madden game has had. Is it the best physics we've ever seen, period? I don't know. That's up to you. I know there's been some games that has had crazy physics like Backbreaker, but the game overall wasn't fun to play because it was just nothing but ragdoll. So you kind of need good animations along with physics, and I think this is probably the best Madden has done physics so far. It's definitely a noticeable
Okay,
difference.
I like that.
The ball carrier side of things, there's some good and there's some bad. So the ball carriers move quite differently than they have in the past. All of the moves,
Oh, I like that.
they do this every so many years. You know, they say new ball carrier moves, new branching. You can, you know, chain the moves together. They do this every like 2, 3, 4 years. They change this, which is understandable. The more you go along,
Yeah.
the more you redo these things, right? You don't just do physics or, you know, ball carrier moves one time and never touch it again. No, as years go on,
Nah, you always improve it.
do it and you can make
Even year to year, you might not see the improvement, but it's
the juke from
little
last year
improvements.
is dead. You can't do that anymore. Some people were against that. Some people were for it. The thing with the juke last year is I think it's good for the everyday player, the more casual player. Anybody could have pulled off the juke last year. You could fake out anybody. You can make highlight plays.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I kind of think that's good for the game because the average person playing the game isn't going to be this highly skilled player. They want to just pull
Yeah,
off
that's true.
players. The skill gap last year was in being able to tackle and stop the
I
juke.
wonder how the spin move is.
I would say I couldn't even do it that consistently. This year, they want to go the opposite direction. They said that they felt the juke was way too easy. Anybody could do it. And they were right. But I still think that is good for the game. But what they want to do is they want to make the skill in the ball carrier and not so much the defensive player. They want the skill.
Ah, I like that.
Really time it. You're going to have to really.
I think that's a good change right there.
To chain the moves together right. And I can see that argument too because it's going to be harder for the casual player, but if you can figure out how to pull off a nasty juke, if you can figure out how to really fake somebody out, it's going to really feel more rewarding because you feel like you really earned that. Now the spin move I will say is better. The spin move was atrocious.
Let's
You couldn't
go.
move from the
Oh, damn, I didn't know the spin move was that bad last year. You guys are new to my channel. I started off with Madden. Was it Madden 21? Madden 20, Madden 21? My goodness gracious. My favorite move to use in those was spin move. I loved it. I ain't gonna lie to you. I used to abuse the spin move sometimes. Especially when I used to do my my play. Well, what was it called? It was when I created my player and stuff like that. I used to abuse the spin move with the Buccaneers, man. You guys, if you guys are not new and you have watched those, man, those were some good times. Hopefully I'll be back soon with more Madden videos.
play and everybody else agreed on this. The spin move is definitely better than the juke move. So the spin move might be the one more people go to.
Oh, I like that.
And all the moves, they look more realistic than ever. Visually, the juke looks better. It doesn't look super speed bursty. It doesn't look like arcade-ish. It looks like real juke moves that they use in real life. And when you do pull it off correctly and fake somebody out, it looks amazing. It looks like you it looks like a true juke that you would see in real life.
I like that.
It's hard to do. It's like it's not something you're gonna.
And that's good. You don't want
just get tackled. Now,
you don't want it
continue,
to be
shout out
abused.
Today's video sponsor, Underdog Fantasy. If you like money and you like sports, then
Shout out
you
to
know
Underdog.
Fantasy playing their pick'em game. Basically, all you do from previous games. If you've played the previous games, you're going to pick up this game and you're going to feel that it feels very different. It moves very different and it looks better than it ever has in a lot of aspects, but there are still some aspects where it doesn't. Sometimes the tackling still gets janky. It still gets a little warpy sometimes, but I think less so than we have seen.
I mean, but it's a game. It's going to happen.
Tackles that look like real tackles. It looks like physics is taken more into account than it ever has, but because it's a game with so many moving parts on the field, you still get a lot of instances where tackles look a little not the cleanest, or they look a little messy, or they look a little unrealistic. It's
never going to be 100% no matter how much you work on it, no matter how many years you get.
These last few years, it's getting better, but you still have some of that old kind of legacy issues that do still linger around from time to time, and sometimes that breaks people's immersion. But for me, I've noticed the past few years, like 24, I thought was a good gameplay year. If you thought 24 was trash, then you're probably not going to like 25 that much. I don't know, but I think a lot of people
People, bruh. The only reason why people probably think 24 is trash because they like, it's copy and paste. They go on this little train on Reddit, Twitter, whatever, Instagram. It's the same cash. You paying for the same. The people that say I can't believe y'all paying for this ish. I'ma stop cussing as much, guys. But the people that keep on saying that or using that argument are the same people that get it day one. Like, I don't understand, like, and also let me with my money, or if I'm younger, my dad, my mom's, whoever, uncles, aunt, whoever, grandma, whoever pays for it, let them pay for it at their pocket, okay? Just cause you're not happy in your life, let's be honest, it's not the game's fault. Your life is not. A lot of people that mention that, yeah, I ain't gonna get too much into that, but yeah, like, guys, the copy and paste saying Madden, alright, Madden's got bugs, Madden's got things they need to fix. Yes, we can all agree on that. But to sit here and say every single time you see something about the new Madden, oh, it's gonna be the same, you already walking into it with doubt, so it's never gonna meet your expectation, because your expectation is that it's gonna suck.
People kind of agreed that 24 was a pretty, at least decent gameplay game from Madden, one of the best that it's been in a while.
I did hear a lot of good things about Madden 24 gameplay though.
Then I don't see why you wouldn't be okay with 25s, because 25s was 24s, but with better movement, better physics, harder to use ball carrier moves, but it's more realistic overall. So if you like the more realistic aspect,
people online,
you're gonna like it.
I wonder how it's gonna be online
themselves. Now, not
for the running backs.
but they did mention they put signature styles in for certain players, and this is something they want to build out in the future. When they think player likeness, you got to look beyond just the face and the hair and the gear that players wear. How do they move on the field? So like Christian McCaffrey, he looks like Christian McCaffrey. He runs like Christian McCaffrey. Isaiah Pacheco runs exactly like Isaiah Pacheco. That was one of the ones they featured, so I had to try him out in the game. He has
Pacheco runs like he ready to kill everybody.
He runs like that in the game, so that's cool. Now, I don't know how many players they did this for. I think this is something that's like a 2-year process where they want to build out and get signature styles for as many of the top players as possible, but they definitely have some in this game for sure. Now, going back to the tackling and the hit stick has been revamped, so it's definitely a more accurate hit stick, but the thing I hate about it is that there's so many broken tackles now, and that's obviously something they could tune. They could balance that. That's easy stuff to kind of fix, but there were a lot of broken tackles when I played it, and I felt the same way with the college game. That was my one gripe with the college game. There was a ton of broken tackles in that too, so it seems like both games kind of have similar styles in this area, but the hit stick is so much harder to land, and it'll tell you early if you
it tells you your timing now.
So that's pretty cool, I think, but it seems really hard to land an accurate hit stick.
That was a big ass hit stick.
Especially if you're trying to hit stick from the side, those don't even seem like they really work, especially like that's where the physics is coming into play, the ratings and the size of players.
Hi, I'm Jason Estrada, Nike trainer, and I'm wearing the Unlimited pants. They're comfortable.
A lot of the up-high tackles are getting broken. I don't know if that's by design, because yeah, in real life, you try to tackle a Derrick Henry up top, you're probably not going to be too successful.
Yeah, don't do that. Make a business decision.
As well. So I think maybe some tuning was needed there. But if you hit stick somebody on the shoulder, they'll spin the proper way from where you're hitting them. If you
I like that detail.
Based on the size of both players and the ratings, how the ball carrier is going to react. So now, instead of the ball carrier just getting knocked down, there's a whole bunch of new animations where the ball carrier can stumble this way, stumble that way. He can recover. He can kind of spin around, put his hand on the ground, regain his balance, and all of that stuff, which again makes it look more realistic. But there's also times because of this, when you try to hit stick, it looks a little janky because your guy will just bounce right off of him. I don't know if I love it yet. I think this needs tuning, but it's definitely harder to time the hit stick. It's harder to land a good one, and the ratings and the size of players definitely matters, because you're going to see a lot of players bouncing off.
I used to use a hit stick a lot on defense.
Or tackle attempt from the side, or you're going up high on a big guy. They're breaking.
But recently, I stopped using it.
I said this a bunch in the past. We're going to consider weight, momentum. We're going to consider how you're hitting a player. It never felt like that truly came to fruition in Madden. It always felt like it was a little bit, but it wasn't the full thing. This year, it feels like they finally honed in on that. It just feels like
I like that. Okay.
The engine is a big of a problem as other people think it is. If you get good with the engine and you stay with it for a while,
yeah,
better than just switching engines every few years. You want to
and another thing about the engine thing, because I also did see this why doesn't EA just switch engines? Guys, when it comes in development, switching engines is not easy. It's not like you could just pick it up and be like, you know what, we're gonna go with this engine this year. No, it has taken games years to switch to a new engine, because you can't just switch to a new engine and expect everybody on your team to know how to use that engine and use it in a way to build your game. Because not all, like, all right, for example, Unreal Engine, right? It's beautiful, it's got all these features, but some games do not work for Unreal. Like, some games, they look great, but they just don't work for Unreal, you know what I mean? So switching engines and stuff is not an easy task, especially for EA, especially for Madden, with all the animations they have, just everything, and then teaching people how to use that engine and build on top of it. Because like I said, not every engine is the same, and not every engine is actually going to work for your specific type of game. So you got to be very careful with, oh, let's just switch this engine. No, it's a lot more to it.
To different ones. And I think they're finally getting to that point where they're completely comfortable on Frostbite after so many years, and there's been different iterations of Frostbite, I believe, and it just feels like they're finally really understanding how to work within it. But again, all that said, there's still a decent amount of those moments to me that still looked bad. But there's more good moments than bad, if that makes sense. Blocking is another area I felt was greatly improved, and this has always been an area that I said, even in Madden's heyday, blocking O-line has never been great. I don't really think in any football game, I think you can always cheese the O-line.
Yeah,
a blitz or a way to dumb them out. But the thing with Madden is sometimes players are just dumb out just on a regular pass rush, year to year.
I have seen like little clips and stuff circling around about the offensive line.
Consistently climb the pocket more than I had been in previous games, and
I don't think I ever climbed the pocket. I always run outside the pocket.
Scramble between the gap. There's some Maddens where that's very hard to do because the pocket breaks down so quickly, or the blocking overall just consistently will let a guy just come through untouched, even in a situation where you're not overloading or blitzing a lot of people. And all the time that I played, which again was only 3 hours, it's not that much time, I felt like I was able to step up, and if you didn't have a spy on the field, felt the same way with college as well. Both games had this, where you step up in the pocket, if there's not a spy, you can take off. If there's,
I won't remember him talking about this with the college football gameplay.
Because when blocking isn't good, you can't do that. You can only scramble to.
Yeah, you can't do nothing if your blocking ain't good.
So I like that. I felt this is honestly, I don't want to like get too excited here because things change quickly. Different patches happen.
That is true.
You might find a crazy blitz, but it felt like the best blocking is felt, and maybe ever in Madden. And I don't really like that because all it takes is one thing for that to go 180. But what I play,
somebody's gonna find something.
Blocking. I don't expect it to be perfect, mind you, every play. Like some people might. Players in real life dumb out all the time and just miss a guy or just miss an assignment.
Thank you, guys. Oh my goodness, he is speaking the truth. He's like a preacher right now, boy. Thank you. Guys in real life dumb out. They make dumb decisions. It happens. It happens all the time. How many times have you watched actual NFL game? You like, what was he thinking? What is he? We all been there before. So we gotta stop acting like, oh, it's gotta be perfect. No, nothing is perfect in this world.
I felt like it was pretty
especially video games.
They added over 500 new blocking animations, and it definitely shows. And there's different ways you can slide protect that have been added as well. And it also shows you who's targeting who in terms of like which blockers taking which defender.
I like that. So they give you information.
Meaning if he were to blitz, he's uncovered, he's gonna come in free, which I think is good. It's giving you that feedback so you know who's gonna come in, why they're coming in, you know who's blocking who, and you can adjust accordingly. Catching is also really cool in this game as well. They added, I think, over 700 catch animations they said.
I remember him talking about that. That is a lot of animations.
Not deleting the old ones, they're just adding more. They even have a lot of new one-handed snags, so they added a spectacular left bumper, L1. So kind of something more so you want to use if you're open. You don't want to use this in coverage as much. You want to go aggressive catch if you're, one-on-one. But if you're open and you want like kind of a stylish, like one-handed grab, there's different ways they can do spectacular.
Oh, I can't wait to see that.
Pretty cool. But overall, there's just a ton of new catch animations in the game, ways to catch them on the sidelines and all of that. So I like that. I think it just makes the game look fun.
I wonder, do they got the catch like on the numbers, like on the back of the dude jersey? Y'all seen those catches?
Like back shoulder catches were in the game, and pylon throws, like real good fades and stuff. I didn't get to see that while playing, but they showed that in the presentation. So I can't wait till they break down exactly how to do those, because they definitely have the animations for them in the game to do them now, which is pretty cool. And I know a lot of people are going to ask, like, how's pass rush? How's defense? Pass rush felt kind of how it felt last year. Not too powerful, not too slow, kind of just about right. You know, maybe they could speed it up a little. It just kind of depends on the player you are. Some people like more time than others. Defense felt about what it felt like last year. Zones are zones, man is man. They're not overpowered one way or the other. I didn't see like just flat out dumbed out zones or anything like that. Match coverage also seemed pretty solid versus the formations it was supposed to work against. Match coverage is typically like a toss-up. Sometimes it's like really broken. Some years it's decent. Seemed pretty solid. Overall, man was good some plays. Other plays it got beat, which I think is how it should be. It shouldn't be OP. It shouldn't be useless. Zone.
Yeah, it should be good. It's a good balance.
You want them to stay where they're going to stay. Some players that are better rated are going to be a little more aggressive than others, but really you're going to want to click on and make plays in zone coverage. That's what it's going to come down to. Adjusting zone drops, making your adjustments on defense, being a good user, clicking around to try to stop, meta plays, because there's always going to be a meta. Every sports game is going to have metas and overpowered stuff. So you got to really make those adjustments on defense. From a sim standpoint, if you're just playing in sim leagues and you don't have like meta stuff in place or you have rules in place, I think the defense
That's what I do.
overall. It didn't seem too OP one way or the other. Didn't seem completely useless. It just seemed about.
I love facing the the computer.
Football. We got the route stems where you can put the routes at any depth. They've already revealed that. We've gotten the coverage shells where you can disguise your coverage shell. So no more baseline. You can set coverage shell disguises in your menu. We also got the switch stick on defense, so you can switch your players, before the QB throws the ball. I think this is a chance to be a generational feature that a lot of people are going to use.
Wait, is it kind of like how the college
got? Because college needs to have, its own distinct differences. If we didn't get the wear and tear system, which I thought would be cool for this game, I think it will get it probably next year. I think they want to test that out in college, but we'll see. But
yeah,
I also want to just for the first year.
I think it's a good college
own stuff. Obviously, college
feature for this year.
They have, the movements faster, so it doesn't feel the same, and they have some different features. But some of the smaller features, like the ones I listed, those have come over to this game, and I think, those are good additions. If they work for both games, they should be in both games. It appears that we're getting a ton of new plays in the game. They even showcased some of the Miami plays when they did their little post.
I had never even heard this play before.
They definitely talked about, in the Chiefs playbook too, they're going to have the play that they ran literally to win the Super Bowl. It's
oh my goodness.
A lot of the motion plays, because we're seeing motion being used so much more in the NFL. I mean, it was always.
I got a good feeling I'm probably going to get beat in the playoffs with this play.
A guy comes in and then immediately shoots back out to the flat, or a guy shoots in and then he'll go that way, kind of cut back this way. But
that is one of the most unstoppable plays.
A ton of these like Tyreek and Raheem Mostert auto motion plays, ton of different varieties.
Bruh, playing against Miami is going to be hell.
They're making an emphasis on playbooks, and this is another thing they've done in the past. Like, we're going to update playbooks a lot. We're going to put the real plays right in the game, and then sometimes they just don't do it. But I believe they said they changed the playbook system where I don't even think live playbooks are going to be a thing anymore. I might have misunderstood, but it sounds like now when they update.
I tried live playbooks a couple of times.
Not two different versions.
I'm always a coach suggestions type of player.
They definitely made some playbook promises in the past and have not lived up to them. But the new plays that we're getting for this game looks pretty cool. More for the sim crowd. I think the hardcore crowd, they want to create their own motions, and they kind of took that out because people found ways to get too glitchy with it. But the sim crowd, I think, will like
see
the real Miami.
They give you a little bit, and then we just take it too far.
Hopefully. And just to touch back on the player likeness to kind of wrap this up, I told you how players run like themselves, but another emphasis was on the QBs. A lot of QBs have their exact mannerisms and the way they stand in the game now, and this type of stuff.
Oh, what?
Dirty stuff, I think, but I like it because it makes the game.
Nah, I ain't gonna lie. I like that little detail.
We know they're updating.
That's a little detail, but it can go a long way.
But they're making it more NFL-like now, a more NFL-like broadcast. We see that they brought in 2 new announced teams that you can rotate, which is awesome. Scoreboard at the bottom kind of looks like the ESPN scoreboard, which is just making it look more like an NFL game than a Madden game. And I said that in my last video, I think. There's like Madden,
making it more authentic.
NFL presentation, and for the past 6 or 7 years we've had Madden presentation. Now they're going back to, hey, give them NFL presentation. That's what they want. So you're going to see quarterbacks, even some of them have their actual cadences in the game. I won't spoil who. They mentioned a few. There's a few quarterbacks that have
Ooh, I bet you Patrick Mahomes,
deeper on that when they release this.
Joe Burrow
have their cadences, at least some of them. A lot of the big name QBs, they motion and they audible exactly how they would in real life.
Jalen Hurts.
Like Mahomes,
for sure, probably.
Mahomes. Jalen Hurts squats down and stands just like Jalen Hurts. And I swear I thought this was in 24, but I had to go back and look, and it wasn't in 24. And I could have sworn it was. So I don't know why I thought that, but all that's in the game now. So and again, the players that run like themselves, and the receivers too. The receivers have like more of the top. How they release off.
Who trying to get that Justin Jefferson on?
Justin Jefferson, when he runs a corner, he doesn't just run it like he did in 24, where it's just
What? Nah. I promise you guys, I did not watch this before. Great minds think alike, man. Me and Eric, we like this.
Corner
Brothers from another mother.
He'll even like throw a little like head fake in there to kind of going.
Oh, imagine him doing that that route he did on Gilmore a couple years ago when it came back.
This is like, again, if you're just like more of a competitive head-to-head guy, you might not appreciate this. If you're a sim guy, I'm kind of more in the middle, but I appreciate the little details because it makes it feel like that's
You're talking to me.
Like I said earlier, player likeness isn't just the face, the equipment, and the hair. It's how are they acting on field, because any year you play the game, it's like, yeah, anybody could be in that Isaiah Pacheco jersey. I could just be a Isaiah Pacheco jersey, and like, yes, if I zoom in on his face, I could see it's his face, but how he runs, it just looks like anybody else. Now when he runs, you're like, oh no, that's definitely Isaiah Pacheco. Or like when Jalen Hurts stands the way he does and audibles the way he does, you're like, no, that's definitely Jalen Hurts, or that's definitely Mahomes. He literally,
Jalen Hurts be making my knees hurt sometimes the way he gets so low.
Or that's that wide receiver. That's exactly how he likes to release. That's exactly how he runs a corner route, or that's exactly how he runs a dig route. You're seeing more of those details, and to me, that's just cool. Another little immersion detail that they added is there's a lot of pre-play motion. Like on defense, the players really move around now. Like if you go to Madden 3, whichever one you have, you break the huddle and the defense just kind of stands still. You might see a linebacker like just move and do this or something, but they're just like set. Now when you break the huddle, you're going to notice like the safeties are like, they're drifting back. You'll see that linebackers are moving side to side in their spot. People are turning to the side and they're all communicating with.
I'm sorry for pausing, but have any of you guys got the defense like you did a hair offense and the defensive players didn't get off the field yet? Is that even in Madden? Because that would be awesome. That would be awesome. And I know Jets fans will abuse it with Aaron Rodgers. So I wonder, is that even in
with each other pre-play? You'll notice the receivers,
I've never done that before.
They talk with the sideline a little more, they move around more, so it just makes it look more like a real game. And again, this is kind of the nerdy stuff, but I love it because it actually,
the nerdy stuff, man, could be some of the biggest things
set up, and it's very robotic. It's not like that anymore.
Especially for people that do not play online. All of this is so good
that we have for the game in terms.
Wow, that was a lot, but I absolutely loved every single thing in this video. I am super excited for Madden, man. I think it's gonna be one of those years, man. I just got a feeling. I feel like it's gonna be one of those years, man. I mean, they're bringing the customization back. You see by this screenshot right here. Well, you probably can't see it, but they bring in the draft board. Just the little details that we've been asking for or waiting for. They're bringing it, and I think that's gonna sell a lot of people. Now I'm not online, guys, so I won't be too much like involved in that, but from what I'm hearing, gotta clap it up for EA, man. Gotta clap it up for EA. Yep, cannot wait for this to come out. Cannot wait for college football to come out. And once again, thanks for all the love and support on these videos, and shout out to Eric, man, for all these videos. Hey, shout out to you, man. Without you, my channel would not be where it's at today. I'm gonna be honest with you. But that's gonna do it for me, guys. Hopefully you guys did enjoy this reaction. Love you guys. I'll see you guys in the next one.